Hello everyone, welcome back to Mountaineer Firearms, and today I wanted to bring to you a very special old hunting shotgun of mine. This is a 16 gauge double barrel shotgun. It is not hammer fired, it's striker fired style. Has double triggers and everything. And to be totally honest with you, I don't hardly know a whole lot about this shotgun. And one of the main reasons I'm making a video on it today is I'm kind of hoping that some of you guys out there might be very knowledgeable and watch this video and be able to give me a little bit more information on this. And maybe in the future, after I learn more about it, we'll make a episode 2 or something like that. But this is a really nice old shotgun, and I'll kind of try to elaborate on what I do know about it. I have a good story from it. It was how it was given to me and everything, but as far as the actual where the shotgun came from, I do know it was made in France. It is proof marked by the Saint Etienne factory, or whatever you want to call that factory over there. They do a lot of proof marking, but that doesn't necessarily mean, from my research, that it was made by Saint Etienne. There were a lot of different manufacturers that would make guns there. And that was pretty much just kind of like a proof house from what I've been reading. If I'm wrong on that, I would love to be corrected. But I believe this was handmade. And somewhere between the years of around 1920 to 1930, give or take 10 years each way maybe. And it is a 16 gauge. It does have a safety on it there that you push forward to have on fire. And pull back for safe. And it's a very nice gun. It locks up very great, and it doesn't have ejectors. It does have an extractor that pulls the shells out, but it doesn't eject them. So this would be a good gun if you was going to do cowboy action shooting, which is kind of what I have planned on for it once I finally get into that, until I get me like a hammer coach gun or something. But I do hunt with this a lot and everything. And like I said, from my research, I think it was made in France sometime between 20s and 30s, somewhere in there. You can tell 16 gauge, the old famous purple shotgun shells. And I do shoot it a lot. I hunt with it. I shoot clay pigeons, and I'll take a few shots here. Got a couple jugs I'm just going to blow around. Yeah, old double barrel. You don't really throw them out like cowboy action. It ain't that slick. I'm gonna have to work on it a little bit if I'm gonna use it for that. But anyway, within my research, I've found that this was made in France and proof marked by Saint Etienne, if I'm saying that correctly. Proofing house, factory, but I'm not real sure who it was made by. I found some companies. One was called Manu France, that is very similar to this gun. They made a couple models. One was called the Ideal model, and one was called the Robust model. But this one is kind of different from both of those, and I'm not real sure if it was even made by Manu France or if it was made by someone there and just had it proof marked there, handmade. I think from what I read that happened too. But it does shoot very good. I like shooting it. The right barrel is a full choke, and the left barrel is a modified choke. And it has double triggers. If you pull the front trigger, that is the right barrel, and that'll be your full choke. And if you pull the rear trigger, it'll be your left barrel for a modified choke. So just keep that in your mind, and it shoots really good. Take the safety off. I like shooting it. I've always loved shooting it. I've hunted with it for years, and it does look like the buttstock has been shortened maybe. I do know that this isn't the original rubber butt pad, recoil pad, that would have been on this gun. It actually wouldn't have had one from my research. So somebody has probably cut this down just a little bit. It just is not really like a youth length, but it does seem like it's just a little short, and this has been cut down and a new butt plate put on there. The checkering and everything's real good. It is all handmade, and it does have some engraving and things in it. It is very pretty. It's got wear, an old use look to it. I've used the crap out of it. It does have a serial number on this side, which is very low, 4407, if that would help anybody. Help me determine exactly what this shotgun is. You can see it has engraving on all the way down the rib. It doesn't have Damascus barrels. And this sight is new. Once it was given to me, I was squirrel hunting with it, leaned it up against a tree, and the original brass sight came out and got lost. And this was all I could find to replace it. But I do eventually plan on putting a new brass sight back in there. And before I do any more shooting, let me just do this and show you how a double barrel hunting shotgun usually comes apart. It's usually something here on the forearm, and you push that button down, and that releases the forearm there. And then that opens up everything there. And then when you break the shotgun, it can just come right out. And then you can put it in a shotgun case or something like that. It makes it very compact. Take it hunting or whatever you want to do with it. And since I got it broke down, see if I can get this on the camera. They're very small. I've had to use magnifying glasses and different things to try to read some of this, but you can see here, this here is where it says the Saint Etienne, and that's really about what's led me to find out what little bit I do know about this. And there's some other names and stuff on there. Maybe you guys could pause this or zoom in. I don't know if I can get it on the camera exactly just right, but it does have some proof marks and stuff on the barrel and some different things. There's the serial number on it again and different, but I don't know what they mean. I'm having trouble. I'm not an expert on these things, and I would just like to know more about it. And we'll get to the story of how I got this shotgun and why. I would really love to know more about it. Let me just take a couple more shots, and you just slide her back together like that. And that there usually has a little bit of trouble pushing back in there. Right there. But once you get it back together, she's solid as a rock. This shotgun has no wiggle. It's very well built, especially for what I suspect is a handmade shotgun. And it shoots very well. And we'll just cut some more of these old, beautiful purple 16 gauges in there. Take some more shots. Tell you what, I'll just show you, since it does have double triggers, you can pull both triggers at the same time. And I'll try to aim between them two jugs there and see what happens. So, take the safety off and get ready. Looks like we can take both of them off there at the same time. Do want to watch, that'll hit your finger. That one kind of got me a little bit. But that's a lot of fun. 2 rounds, 1 shot. This shotgun is very solid. It's actually kind of stiff. It don't just break down extremely easy like it's been wore out, but it does have some carry wear and stuff like that, hunting wear, which I absolutely love. You'll find on this channel that I adore character flaws and just honest wear on a gun, especially one this old. It isn't in too bad a shape for how old it is. 100 years old pretty much now, as best as I can figure from my amateur research. But it is a very nice shotgun. This thing shoots extremely well. I've killed all kinds of squirrels and rabbits and turkeys and different things with this. I don't really own a newer style hunting shotgun. I'm not much of a hunter. If I hunt, it's mainly to get my vintage guns out and enjoy them. And if I take any game, it's more of a pride of taking it with an old vintage shotgun or rifle or something like that. So that's what I enjoy. But everybody's different. This thing really is fun. Nothing like a good double barrel shotgun. It's a whole lot of fun. And don't think you're unarmed. 2 rounds of 16 gauge is very, very powerful. They're pretty close to 12 gauge in my opinion. As a matter of fact, I actually prefer a 16 gauge when it comes to hunting small game, rabbits, squirrel, turkeys even. 16 gauge will take down a turkey with a headshot just as easy as anything else. But yeah, let's get around to how I come about this gun. And it's kind of special to me for lots of reasons. It might not be worth anything. I might find out when I get done researching it, but it's priceless to me. When I was a little kid, I was born and raised in a little town in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. You might have heard of that if you've watched very many movies or seen anything about the Mothman. That's the town that the Mothman was from, or is from, or whatever you want to say. But that's where I grew up. And sometime I was about 3 years old, there was a barber on Main Street in Point Pleasant, Ralph Newman. Really nice old man. And he cut my hair from the time I was just a little old kid. And when you go in his barber shop, he would always have guns in there. And Andy Griffith praying on the TV. And people would bring guns in, trade, and talk about guns. And he was pretty knowledgeable on them. And he could pretty much tell you about a gun if you had something you didn't know about. But I was in there when I was about 3, 4 years old, getting my hair cut. And he traded for this shotgun. And it caught my eye. It was pretty special to me for some reason. Probably about 4, and I think I went home and made up this big story about how he traded for that shotgun. He let me take it behind the flood wall in Point Pleasant in town. I may have even lied about shooting at the Mothman or shooting at a goose or something, who knows, but I was only 4 years old and everybody knew I was lying. Big old story. But it got back to Ralph, and he just thought it was the sweetest, cutest thing ever, and he remembered it for many, many years. And I'll take a couple more shots while I'm thinking. Sorry about that. I just like shooting this whole thing. But anyway, fast forward in my story. About 16th birthday. My 16th birthday. And sitting in the house, and this old guy pulls up in the driveway and beeps the horn. And I come out, and he has this shotgun in a case. And he wouldn't let me open it at that time, so I didn't know it was this gun in there. But he said he wanted to give me a gun for my 16th birthday and not to open it till I got in the house. So once I did, I walked in there and fast as I could, jerked that case open to see what was in there, and here it was. This shotgun. It's the same one that I made the story up about when I was 4 years old, about shooting it on Main Street in Point Pleasant behind the flood wall. And so this shotgun is very special to me. He made me promise that if he was going to give it to me, that I was going to use it and hunt with it, shoot skeet with it, trap, and just whatever. Use it for everything and anything, and I do. I have ever since he gave it to me. He's passed away now. So this is a very, very special shotgun to me. It may not be worth $50 on the market, but it's very priceless. This would absolutely never be replaced. And I would be devastated if it was something happened to it. If it ever breaks, I'm sure I'll just pay whatever it costs to fix it and keep it going, because I promised him I would always use it. And since that promise will all be upheld, we might as well just start shooting with it. See what it does with that plate. Yeah, swings them around pretty good. 16 gauge. I really like a 16 gauge. I actually kind of prefer it for hunting over 12 gauge, like I said. But there it is. This is a French, handmade as far as I can tell, 16 gauge double barrel. I don't think this is this ain't stainless, I know for sure, but if it was nickel plated, it's rubbing off, and this looks like walnut to me. But like I said, I don't know a whole lot about it. It does have a sling swivel here, but it does not have one on the buttstock. So you would have to do like an old muzzleloader style sling on this if you wanted to do that, which ain't nobody but me going to be hunting with this anyway. So, but yeah, you can see the engraving again and stuff. Get you another close look at it, and maybe you guys can help me figure out a little more history on this shotgun. And I'll always remember the story about how I got it and why it's so special to me. And take a couple more shots with it, why not? These old purple 16 gauge. I've hunted birds and everything with this, and I really love it. You see there, I think, maybe on the camera, it puts a pretty good pattern on that plate there. Yep. 16 gauge kicks a little bit. Don't think that if you're gonna, you're afraid of the recoil of a 12 gauge. If you go down to 16 gauge, it's gonna be a big difference, but it's not. 16 gauge actually kicks pretty good, especially because they're usually a little bit lighter, a little bit smaller shotgun, a little handier to carry in the field. This thing don't weigh hardly anything. It's kind of close to what I figured out in my research to a Manu France ideal model, but it's not quite the same. Things are different from the pictures that I can Google, and it's not really anywhere near the robust model that I can find pictures of. But yeah, any help would be greatly appreciated. If you have any information leading to the manufacture of this shotgun, please contact Mountain Air Firearms. But we thank you for watching our video today, and hope you keep tuning in. I'll keep trying to bring some really neat old guns to you and some new ones too. So make sure you subscribe and like and share our videos. Thank you for watching so far. We'll see you again another day.